Hello everybody, this is Dad from Mommyhood 101, and today I'm going to give you a quick tour of the parent unit and the camera for the Infant Optics DXR-8 Pro, which is, as of 2022 and likely next year as well, our #1 recommended baby monitor. So we're really happy about this device, really excited to show it off to you a little bit. So first of all, just physical form factor here. We have a 5-inch display, 5-inch diagonal display on the parent unit. We have a retractable antenna up at the top. You always want to keep this in the upward facing position for better reception. I'm going to fold it down just to help us flip this around. On the back, you have a kickstand that you can fold in, fold out. You also have the speaker. Another interesting, unique aspect of the Infant Optics DXR-8 Pro is that the back here has a battery panel. So you can slide this off. You can actually reveal the lithium-ion battery that powers the parent unit. Now, imagine that, in 2 years, 3 years, if this battery is no longer doing a great job of holding a charge, this makes it super easy for you to swap that battery out for a new one, rather than having to send it back or stop using it entirely, or even, if you're really handy, disassembling it and trying to swap the battery out yourself, which we don't recommend. Okay, so I'm going to pop that back onto the back of the device here and flip it back around. So just to show you a couple things here, a couple basic things. On the top edge, you'll see that you can adjust the volume over here. You can adjust the brightness of the screen. There's also an on-off sleep button up here. So what that means is that if you press this once, you will put the device to sleep, which simply means that you're going to turn off the screen. What you'll notice is that if I speak louder, you'll notice that the green indicator starts to light up here. So this is a sound level indicator, which is great. So even if the screen is off, you're still getting a meter over here to tell you any noise that's occurring in the nursery at that moment. If you long hold this button, it will actually just power off the whole unit. You need to hold it for long enough, for a few seconds. I'm not going to allow it to do that. Otherwise, I need to restart it completely, which, by the way, is pretty quick, but just for convenience sake. You also notice there's another little light over here. In addition to this light, this is basically just the power on light. I'll show you how, sorry, that was out of view a bit. I'll show you how to increase the brightness or decrease the brightness, or even turn this light off. So for example, if it's nighttime in your bedroom and you want a complete darkness, you can actually have that light turn off completely while keeping the parent unit powered on. So up on the screen here, in terms of buttons, you have up, down, left, right. This allows you to tilt the camera unit up or down, or move it, pan it to the right, or pan it to the left. You also have buttons up at the top. The top one is menu. This one is an OK button / camera. So you can select between multiple cameras if you have multiple cameras paired with this unit. Down here, you have a zoom button that allows you to zoom in twice or zoom out. And then you have your two-way talk. If you press and hold this button, you can use this as an intercom, allow you to speak to the nursery through a small speaker that's on the camera unit. Up along the top edge of the actual screen itself, you'll notice a lot of icons. The first icon is a signal strength, so that's the reception with the camera unit. Right now it's very strong because I literally have the camera unit sitting right here next to this recording. I also have the current zoom level, so you'll notice that will change to 2 and to 3 as I zoom in and zoom out. You have an indication that the unit is muted. So if I go ahead and I turn the volume up, that will disappear. I'll also get some feedback because the camera is so close to the parent unit, so I'm going to keep that muted. We also have the indication of which camera you're viewing at the moment. So like I said, if you press this button, you can manually cycle between up to 4 cameras paired with this device. I'll also show you in a bit in the menu system how to change that cycling or how to keep it fixed on a single camera. Up here, we also have the nursery temperature monitor. Right now it says 77 degrees Fahrenheit. You can change that in the menu to Celsius if you prefer. We also have time indicated here, and then we have a battery level indicator for the parent unit. All right, so that just about covers the actual physical unit itself. Let's go ahead in the top of the screen banner. Let's go ahead into the menu. So the first thing you notice in the menu is a sleep mode delay. This allows you to shut off the screen after a preset time delay, as it says there. So I can cycle through here and I can say I don't want it to automatically go into a sleep mode and turn off the screen ever. Or I can say I want it to happen after 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes. The next thing you'll notice is that there's an alarm timer. So people use this as a reminder, for example, a reminder for feeding or a reminder for nap time or the end of nap time, for example. Right now, as a default, it is off. However, you can set it to 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, etc., all the way up to 6 hours. You can also tell it to repeat. So once it does that alarm timer once, say for 2 hours, you can have it repeat and start all over again and do it for 2 hours again. This basically allows after the timer elapses, you'll notice that it emits a beep, and we can adjust the intensity of that beep as well right here. So this is the alert warning setting. So this allows you to control the volume of any alerts coming from the monitor unit. So for example, if it's low on battery or if it's out of signal range, you can change the volume of that indicator. You can also change which tone you prefer. So if there's a certain sound, such as this one or that one that you prefer, you can go ahead and select those. So I'll give you an example of how this works right now before continuing through the menu. So I'm going to reach over here and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to unplug the camera unit for a minute. And what's going to happen is that you'll notice that the signal reception has dropped, and then you're getting an alert that the camera unit is not connected, and then soon it'll sound the tone. And then you can hear the tone there. I'm going to plug that camera unit back in. You'll notice that the signal reception goes back up, and we have a nice view pretty quickly after plugging it back in. Returning back to the menus, those are the alerts. This is camera control. So you can go ahead and you can add a camera. So we've only added one camera, but you could add up to 4 here. You can delete a camera that's already there. You can view a camera, so you can manually select which camera you want to view. Like I said, you can also do that by pressing this button up here, or you can select scan down at the bottom. So when you have multiple cameras added here, you can select scan, and what that'll do is it'll automatically rotate through the different cameras that are connected or paired, and it'll do it at a preset interval. So that scan delay is going to dictate how long it takes before you cycle to the next camera. So you can tell it 10 seconds all the way up to 30 seconds. That's a nice feature to have. Finally, some general settings. Noise reduction is a really nice feature here. This is active noise canceling. So if you have some background noises in the nursery, so for example, humidifiers or a fan or air purifier that's running constantly, this will allow you to filter out some of that noise so you're not constantly getting an alert on the parent unit or hearing that through the parent unit. Works really well for most devices, but it will not work for certain devices depending upon the complexity of the waveform. So for example, some sound machines use brown noise or other more complex waveforms, and it will not actually work very well for those. And that's very similar to other active noise canceling systems. It's not unique to the infant optics, for example. So you can turn that on or off. You can also adjust the time to be 24-hour format or 12-hour format, and then you can just change what the actual time is. You can change the temperature scale, like I told you already, from Fahrenheit to Celsius. You can also change the brightness of this light over here, this green light. So some parents might find it a little bit annoying to have that bright. You can also adjust the brightness of this sound level meter during the night, and you can turn it off or you can turn it on. So if I turn it off right now, you'll notice that no matter how loud I talk, this meter is not lighting up and this light's not turning on. Or I can place it up on 3, and this will be pretty bright over here, indicating that the system is on. But if I talk loudly, you'll notice that the green light is turning on over here. So if your baby is fussing or crying or coughing or anything else, any other noises from the nursery, you'll see it activating here, even if the screen is off, which is great. If you find that you have some flickering in the screen, this can be due to the lighting conditions in the nursery, and so the camera is picking up on the frequency of the lights and it's interfering. You can change the frequency to adjust for that and limit the amount of flickering you'll see on the screen. You can also factory reset all the way back to its default settings. And here's some basic information about customer support, including the email, the phone number, and also the website for contacting them. Okay, so moving on now, that just about covers the parent unit. I'm going to show you some information now about the actual camera. So the camera is pretty straightforward. It includes not just this camera unit and this lens right here. This is the wide angle lens that is attached by default. It also includes a zoom lens that you can attach. Very simple. You simply unscrew this and attach this zoom lens. And it will give you a much more zoomed in perspective on the nursery. So for example, if you end up mounting this pretty high up off of the on the wall, for example, above the crib, you may want to use the zoom lens to give you a closer perspective on your baby down in the crib. So that changes pretty quickly. This whole unit tilts up and down, so I can make it move up right now and down, so that's the tilt, and then I can make it move right to left like this. That's the panning. You'll also notice that it has its own antenna here and also a microphone for the two-way intercom. On the front here, you'll notice the array of infrared lights. That's for the night vision system. You'll also notice that it has this bright green LED. Now, if you put this camera in the dark, that green LED will actually fade away and will turn off entirely. So this unit will not have a bright green light in the nursery during the nighttime. So you don't need to worry about that. On the side over here, you have your on-off switch. Easy enough. And then finally on the bottom, if you want to place this on a table, on a changing table, or you wanted to place it on a high up bookshelf, very easy to do. It's got 4 rubberized feet at the bottom, but you'll also notice that this has this attachment point. Infant Optics does include a screw and an anchor, so you can, if you'd like to, attach this to the wall, for example, above your baby's crib. And just some basic information on the bottom there, and then the power plug. Infant Optics does recommend not using anything other than the power plugs that they provide. And this is for a few reasons, not the least of which is that the amperage and the voltage conditioning, the power conditioning through their specific plugs is designed to be used with their parent unit and their camera unit. So they recommend strongly not to do that. So I think that basically covers everything with the Infant Optics DXR-8 Pro. And we hope you enjoy it as much as we have. We are big fans of this system and think that for the price, it offers a lot of great features and capability, in addition to just overall quality and reliability of these systems as well. We've been testing this specific device for 2 years now, and we have had only success with it. The battery life does not appear to have degraded at all, and we're really, really happy with it. So if you have any questions beyond what I've covered today, be sure to read our full review. We put a lot of the details down in the text. And then also, if there's something outstanding that we haven't covered, feel free to always send us a message on Facebook Messenger, for example, or you can also send us a message over email. And we're very quick to respond, and we're always happy to hear from all of you who are reading and listening to our reviews and relying upon them for your purchasing decisions. So thank you all for listening today, and I hope you all have a great day, and I wish you luck with your baby monitor purchasing decision.